Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Look, I know some people love negativity. Some people love being miserable. It is what it is. It's the world of the internet, I guess. Yesterday, we get a commitment from a four-star tight end, a pretty highly ranked prospect that I was pretty excited about. Put out the video, and here comes everybody complaining about Glenn Ellerbe. Everybody complaining about going 0 for 3 in the transfer portal. Everybody complaining about the offensive line. And look, I get it. I understand we need some depth on this offensive line in 2024. Also, lots of question marks on this offensive line for 2025. Where do we go? But when you sit back and you look at the grand scheme of things, I mean, you can pull up the class of 2024, and I think Glenn Ellerbe did a pretty dang good job recruiting on the offensive line. You take a look at 3 offensive linemen on the screen right here. Bennett Warren, 4-star offensive tackle, ranked 164th nationally. William Satterwhite, 4-star interior offensive lineman, 233rd nationally. Max Anderson, 4-star interior offensive lineman, 283 nationally. That is 3 offensive linemen in the class of 2024 that are on 300 prospects. I think Glenn Ellerbe did a pretty dang good job. You can also go look at Gage Ginther, an offensive tackle that's graded out as a 3-star prospect. But look, I'm no expert, I'm no insider, but a lot of people that are believe that Gage Ginther is underrated, and he's a guy that could ultimately end up contributing at Tennessee. So I think when you're going to talk Glenn Ellerbe, when you're going to talk recruiting, you got to talk about the grand scheme of things. You got to talk about it all. Has he missed? We're going to get into that in just a second, but you also got to look at the COVID guys coming back. You know, you look at this roster going into 2024, you were going to return all 5 of your offensive linemen until Gerald Mincey decides to hit the portal. Now, is that final? Is he looking for money? I don't know, but you still got Cooper Mays back. You got John Campbell back. You got Spraggins back. I think you've got to give Glenn Ellerbe and Josh Heupel credit for that. So if you want to be negative, but you got to look at the grand scheme of things. Now, what spurred this? What brought on this negativity? What has you guys so upset? It's the transfer portal. Tennessee has targeted 3 offensive tackles, and you guys are saying 0 for 3. Glenn Ellerbe went 0 for 3. Did he go 0 for 3? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, and it's easy, and it helps this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be any of that. We don't talk at you here. We talk with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, playing NCAA 14, but also talking all things Tennessee football. We are in the process of putting together the charity stream for Fisher House Foundation. I'm excited, man. We got a who's who guest list. You guys are going to enjoy some of the people that are coming on the channel, but I will give you more information as we lead into that, probably towards the end of the month on a Wednesday night. So stay tuned. More information coming on that. But let's talk about the transfer portal. And again, Tennessee targeted 3 offensive tackles, right? You got Reed Adams, the offensive tackle from Kansas. He ultimately commits to Texas A&M. There's some circumstances there. It sounded like his mom wanted him to stay closer to home, but then it comes out I think he also has a little one on the way that I've seen, and that's why he wants to stay closer to home as well. You can't blame the guy for that. You can't fault the guy for that. So he is off the table. That's 0 for 1. Let's talk about another offensive tackle that Tennessee targeted in the transfer portal, and that is Diego Pounds, offensive tackle from UNC. Now, he's a guy that ultimately it sounded like it was going to be a Tennessee-Ole Miss type of battle. He was scheduled to visit Ole Miss this weekend. He did just that. Now, he was supposed to follow that up on Sunday by making a visit to Tennessee. Now, I think where some people are chalking this up as a loss and saying it's over is because he didn't make it to that visit. Sounds like he arrived late for his visit to Ole Miss, and his mom had trouble getting there as well, so they never made it to Tennessee. Now, did Lane Kiffin hold them hostage? Do they have no interest in coming to Tennessee? You know, Austin Price kind of put it out earlier in the weekend that he had to see it. He had to see Diego Pounds make it to Tennessee to start to believe that Tennessee had some momentum there. But ultimately, it's not over. We'll see. Does Diego Pounds go ahead and pull the trigger and commit to Ole Miss? Some of you feel like that ship has sailed, and maybe it has. So I'll give you that one. I'll throw you Diego Pounds. So let's say 0 for 2. Boogie, the sky is falling. This is why we need to fire Glenn Ellerbe. We need to move on because we're 0 for 2 in the transfer portal. Is that the case? Let's take a look at another target. This, to me, is probably your priority target in the transfer portal at the tackle position, and that is Lance Hurd from LSU. 6'6", 340 pounds. He's a guy we've talked about before on the channel that wants to play left tackle. Got switched over to right tackle because they got a sophomore starter at LSU, and he's kind of buried behind him on the depth chart. So it was either play right tackle or enter the portal. He was the top-rated player in the class of 2023 for LSU. Took a quick visit to Tennessee over the weekend. So they got him on campus. They got that visit. He was in town for about 6 hours and then rushed right out the door because he was going to follow that up with a visit to Oklahoma. You know, a lot of times you see Austin Price, you see Matt Ray, you see some of these guys in the media, some of the guys from Go Vols 247 will go to the airport, catch up with these guys. You'll see those interviews come out. That did not happen with Lance Hurd. Again, 6-hour visit, turnaround time, out the door, off to Oklahoma. No information here. We don't know how good the visit was, how bad the visit was, but you can go over to 247 Sports. They put out some information on Lance Hurd. It says, from the sounds of it, Tennessee isn't overly confident at this time. Hurd's visit in Knoxville was on the shorter side, and while the Vols are still optimistic, there's still very much a belief that Oklahoma is still very much facing a window of opportunity. The article from 247 Sports goes on to say part of that is because there's some belief from the Tennessee side that more visits could be on the table for Hurd. Again, he's sought after. He's a priority target. It's not a surprise that there could be more visits on the table outside of Tennessee, and now, again, he followed that up with a visit to Oklahoma. Says there's not much certainty on that concept, but more of this is in a second. He goes on to say on the Oklahoma side, there is a sense of a lot of optimism about what can be accomplished here. I've heard personally that he is a big fan of our offensive line coach and the track record he has. On top of that, I'm led to believe that Hurd sees a solid fit at Oklahoma, and keep in mind there are pre-visit rumblings I've been able to gather. This was leading into the visit of Hurd going to Oklahoma. Goes on to say Tennessee is literally known as one of the nation's best at securing lucrative NIL deals for all of its players. I'm told Oklahoma plans to be very aggressive on that front in pursuit of Hurd. So, you know, a lot of you guys, a lot of us, a lot of fans want to say Tennessee doesn't have the money. Clearly, drop the bag, drop the bag, drop the bag. Why is Ole Miss able to outbid us for every player? But then you hear 247 Sports saying that Tennessee is known for lucrative NIL deals. Austin Price was asked about Hurd because we got another target coming up here in just a second we're going to take a look at. New one that's just now on the board. And because of this new target, somebody asked Austin Price on VolQuest, does this mean there's no shot at Hurd? AP said, no, it does not. It means while they keep working on him, you can't keep all of your eggs in the Lance Hurd basket. So again, you guys are chalking it up as 0 for 3. You guys, not all of you. Some of you negative Nancy's out there are saying 0 for 3. Lance Hurd, still on the table. Technically, Diego Pounds is still on the table, and now Tennessee is adding another offensive tackle into the mix here. Let's take a look at this one. It's Percy Lewis, 6'8", 345-pound offensive lineman from Mississippi State. In 2020, 2021, he played at the JUCO level. 2022, he appeared in 13 games with 1 start, helped the Bulldogs average 311 yards per game through the air. 2023, he appeared in 12 games, making 7 starts. I believe he does have 2 years of eligibility left because of the COVID year. But this is a guy that, according to Austin Price, Tennessee is going to target, scheduled to be in town this upcoming weekend, according to Austin Price. Visited Auburn and Arkansas, was scheduled to visit Ole Miss, did not make that trip. He told Auburn Wire at USA Today, this is a quote, "I just took 2 visits. I ain't going to take no more. It's time to narrow it down because it's getting about that time again, so I ain't going to keep going on these visits. Just going to narrow it down, get home tonight, do a little thinking by myself, and just make my move in the morning." Well, guess what? That move is now going to be a visit to the University of Tennessee. So the Vols are adding another potential target here on the offensive line via the transfer portal. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section and let's talk about it. Are you concerned? Are you upset? I know, again, the negative spin is coming because, again, we get a commit from a 4-star tight end, and everybody is complaining about Glenn Ellerbe and the offensive line. Again, go look at that class of 2024, adding 3 guys from the on 300. Go look at the COVID guys that Tennessee was able to bring back, the Cooper Mays, John Campbell, Javonte Spraggins. Look at the grand scheme of things and not just a couple of hot names in the transfer portal. Are you upset with Glenn Ellerbe, or can you be a little bit more realistic and say he's done a pretty good job recruiting in the class of 24? I know we got depth issues. We got problems. You want to talk about the class of 22, the class of 23, we can discuss that. We can talk about that. But I think what he's done in 24 was pretty solid. Can he land a tackle or two here via the transfer portal? We'll keep an eye on it, keep you guys up to date. As always, smash the thumbs up just below the video. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. Go check out the merchandise for the Talkin VAWLS Network, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link's in the description below as well. And you want to support this channel, hit that join button down below. You can do that for $1 a month. We talk about for the fans, by the fans. It is also fan-funded. We are not able to do this without your support, so I'm grateful to every single member of the channel. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.